Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about all the books that I received for Christmas. So stay tuned if you want to know more about all the lovely gifts that my family gifted to me. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right in. So first up, I have a book that's definitely going to help me with my bookish resolution of reading more children's literature, and that is Crow by Barbara Wright. This is a fairly quick read. The font is rather large, and I think that I'll definitely be able to read this quickly. I looked it up on Goodreads and on Amazon, and it has really positive reviews. I've never really heard of this before, but I'm excited to get into it. It's about a young boy who's 10 years old, and the time is right before the Emancipation Proclamation, and it deals with race relations around that time, and racism and everything like that. So I think it's actually going to be really interesting, and I cannot wait to get into it. An unflinching take on a fascinating, little-known chapter of history. Publishers Weekly. There are signs everywhere. In the whisper of an ocean breeze. There are signs everywhere. In the whisper of an ocean breeze or the shadow of a low-flying bird. At least that's what Boo Nanny believes. And Moses Thomas isn't the kind of boy to doubt his grandmother or her superstitions. She's a former slave who has learned many hard truths. Moses also puts a lot of trust in the signs of progress his father, a city alderman, points out. As members of a thriving African American community in Wilmington, North Carolina, their family is experiencing the promise of the Emancipation Proclamation. And even though Moses faces racism all the time, there is plenty of summer fun on the horizon. But as the weeks pass and Moses' plans don't go as expected, he can't help seeing the growing tension between the white and black communities. And like one of Boo Nanny's omens, the shifting winds in Wilmington are pushing everyone toward an uncertain future. Yeah, it sounds absolutely lovely, and I'm really excited to really get into this. Next up, I have a novel that I received specifically from fail. Next up is this absolutely beautifully stunning cover, an edition of Emma. Look at this. How pretty. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with this. And this is the Barnes & Noble's Classics edition, and it was given to me by my father. It's been sitting around. He has an extremely extensive library, and he basically gifted a lot of books to me that he thought that I would enjoy from his library, just kind of passing them along to me. And I don't know, I'm just really excited. Emma is not one of my favorite Jane Austens, but I'm also the least familiar with Emma. I've read Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility the most. Emma I only read once, I believe, and that was way back in high school. So I'm really excited to reread it, especially with this absolutely gorgeous edition. Like, seriously guys, this is so pretty. I'm just staring at it. I just stare at it. Gorge. Next up, I have some more classics, and first I have The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Now, The Scarlet Letter is actually one of my favorite classics. I read it extensively when I was in 10th grade, and we did one of those in-depth critical readings of it in my honors English class, and I remember really just enjoying the story, really loving it. It actually took me by surprise how much I really liked it, and I'm just really excited to reread it. This edition is really interesting looking, and I don't know, I'm just really excited to get back into this one. So I'm really grateful to have a copy of this one, and this is another book that was passed down to me from my father's extensive library collection. Next along the same vein is Wuthering Heights. And this is by Emily Bronte, and I've never read this, so I'm really excited to get into this one. This has some criticism also included. It's edited by Linda H. Peterson, so we have some annotations and some notes as well in this. And I'm just excited to read this critically and get into this. This is a classic that I've heard so much about, but I've never actually read myself. So I'm excited to dive into this one. And just like The Scarlet Letter, this is another book that was passed down to me by my papa from his library. Now, he is a funny man and a lovely man, and he didn't know which edition that I would prefer. So he also included this Barnes & Noble Classics edition, and it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to the eye and just a more beautiful edition, so he wasn't sure which one that I would prefer, so he included this as well. The difference is this one doesn't really have any criticisms or notes or essays or anything attached, so I really am grateful that I kind of have both of them. It's nice to have this one, which, you know, is kind of like the more critical, in-depth reading with the notes and everything, and then this one, which is just more of an aesthetically pleasing edition. So yeah, just totally just so grateful and thankful to him to have both. Next up, we have another classic, and this is, I guess, bordering more towards modern classics that I've been wanting to read for quite some time now, and it is The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Now, I remember I tried reading this when I was younger. I got about a couple chapters in, and I think I just gave up because it was too difficult for me. I tried reading it when I was about 11 or 12, and I think I was just too young at the time. It was a little too difficult, and I was really struggling to get through it. I didn't find it interesting, and I was bored by it at that time. Like I said, I think I was too young to read it then. So now I'm actually interested in reading it, and fun fact, I absolutely adore the film. There's a film version of it. It's quite old. It's a classic film, and I saw it a few years ago, and I just fell in love with the story. And so I really want to read the novel now, and I really do enjoy John Steinbeck's other works, so I'm excited to get into this one. Next up is a book that I've heard a lot about and I've never read, and also an author that I've heard a lot about. I've been really wanting to read some of his novels, and that is Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. Now, this novel, I don't know anything about it, and let me just read the quick synopsis here on the back. Born at the stroke of midnight on August 15th, 1947, at the precise moment of India's independence, the infant Salim Sinai is celebrated in the press and welcomed by Prime Minister Nehru himself. But this coincidence of birth has consequences Salim is not prepared for. Telepathic powers that connect him with 1,000 other Midnight's children, all born in the initial hour of India's independence, and an uncanny sense of smell that allows him to sniff out dangers others can't perceive. Inextricably linked to his nation, Salim's biography is a whirlwind of disasters and triumphs that mirror the course of modern India at its most impossible and glorious. Operatic, comic, and serious, this novel is a wild, astonishing evocation of the maturity of a vast and complicated land and its people, a brilliant incarnation of the universal human comedy, Indian style. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited to get into this. This is definitely more to the taste of the reading direction I want to go in 2015. It is diverse. It is by an Indian author about India at a time when they were discovering their independence, and I'm just so excited. I'm really excited. So I'm very grateful and thankful to my father for passing this down from his library. Next up, I have Passing by Nella Larsen, and this, I don't know too much about this one. This is another one that my father thought that I would really enjoy, and once again along the lines of reading more diverse and interesting literature in 2015. Right on the back here, there's just a little section that I will read so that you guys kind of have an idea of what it's about. I have no clue. I barely read the back. Nella Larsen, who lived from 1981 to 1964, occupies a central place in African American and modernist literature, and her status as a Harlem Renaissance woman writer is rivaled only by Zora Neale Hurston. This Norton critical edition of Larsen's electrifying 1929 novel is accompanied by Carla Kaplan's insightfully detailed introduction, explanatory annotations, and a note on the text. So it is, as it says on the back, it's edited by Carla Kaplan, and also this is a Norton critical edition, so there are notes and annotations and perhaps maybe even a few essays in here as well. So I'm very excited to get into this. This is definitely very different than something that I would typically read, and that excites me. Next, I have a nonfiction novel, and this is Haiti, The Aftershocks of History by Laurent Dubois. This is another one that I don't know too much about. This one's given to me by my mother, who also read this and really enjoyed it. She is a high school history teacher, so this is definitely right up her alley and more along her taste, and also is a direction that I'm really excited to go in for the new year, definitely being nonfiction. I didn't read any nonfiction last year, I don't remember, so I'm really excited to start reading some nonfiction in 2015. Even before the devastating 2010 earthquake, Haiti was known as a benighted place of poverty and corruption, blamed by many for its own wretchedness. But as acclaimed historian Laurent Dubois demonstrates, Haiti's troubled present can only be understood by examining its complex past. The country's difficulties are inextricably rooted in its founding revolution, the only successful slave revolt in the history of the world. The hostility that this rebellion generated among the surrounding colonial powers, and the intense struggle within Haiti itself to define its newfound freedom and realize its promise. Revealing what lies behind the familiar moniker, the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, this indispensable book illuminates the foundations on which a new Haiti might yet emerge. So excited to get into this one. And last but not least, in this haul, I received a brand new Bible, and this is the Message Edition, which is basically the Bible translated into everyday English. This is beautiful purple, kind of almost leather feeling cover. And yeah, just a Bible, but a very beautiful one, and I'm really excited to start reading this as well. I've already got my reading plan down for this every day, and it's just nice to be able to read the Bible in everyday English. Makes things a little bit easier, a lot more enjoyable. I will have a part 2 of this haul coming up once I kind of receive the book order that I put into Book Outlet. I used some of my Christmas money to buy, what else? More books. So once that comes in, I would definitely do an unboxing and a haul and show all of you what I chose. But those are all the bookish gifts that I received this year for Christmas. I hope all of you had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful holiday, and I hope that if you got everything you wanted from Santa and are looking forward to the new year. I will catch you in my next video. Bye. Hello lovelies, it is the very last weekend of the year, and I thought I would do a Friday Reads video for you all. Now, it is the day after Christmas, so I hope all of you all had a wonderful holiday.